All right, guys, this is the Kiger, and today we're about to give it a brand new look. If it's your first time painting a car, don't worry. I'm going to show you everything step by step, simple and clean. Now, before you grab that spray gun and go crazy, remember, painting a car isn't just about throwing on color. It's all about prep, patience, and technique. Think of it like cooking. If you rush the prep, the meal's going to taste bad. Same with paint. Rush it and you'll end up with orange peel soup. So in this video, we're going to break it down nice and easy. From surface prep, mixing, spraying base coat, all the way to clear coat and polishing. Whether you're doing this in a shop or in your garage, you'll learn the tricks to make that paint shine like glass. Now this Kiger's been through some stuff, a few scratches here and there, and that dull finish that just screams, "I need help." But by the end of this series, it's going to look like it just rolled out of the showroom. So grab your masking tape, your spray gun, and let's get into it. Because today we're learning how to paint a car for the very first time the right way. Funny, simple, and professional. All right, so this is our little DIY spray booth. Nothing fancy, just something simple that gets the job done. You don't need a big setup to paint, just a clean space and good lighting. Over here we've got the bumper, the fender, and the bonnet all ready to go. I know it looks basic, but trust me, this is where the magic happens. It's not about having the best booth, it's about the technique, the prep, and a bit of patience. Let's get this baby shining. So right here, we've got our setup, the filter and the fan system. This little guy right here is super important. The filter helps trap all that moisture and dirt that tries to sneak its way into your paint. If you skip this, you'll end up with bubbles or fish eyes all over your work. And trust me, nobody wants that. The fan right there helps push the overspray out, keeping the air clean and the paint flow smooth. It might look simple, but this setup does all the behind-the-scenes magic that keeps your paint looking pro. All right, so this is our first pass, and this one is all about control. We're not trying to cover everything in one go. The goal here is just to lay down a nice, even, light coat to help the paint grip properly. Think of it as the foundation. It's what gives the next layers something to hold on to. I'm keeping my spray gun about 6 to 8 inches away from the surface, nice and consistent. You want to move smoothly, overlap each pass by about 50%, and keep your wrist locked. Let your whole arm do the motion. Now you might notice the color looks a bit patchy right now. That's completely normal. Don't panic. The first coat is never about full coverage. It's about getting that uniform mist. The next passes will fill in everything nicely. The main thing here is to avoid spraying too heavy, because that's how you end up with runs or sags. You want that paint to flash off just right so it flows out smooth. Also, air pressure plays a big role here. Too high and you'll dry the paint before it hits the surface. Too low and it'll go on too wet. You want that sweet spot where the paint fans out evenly and lays down clean. Make sure your gun pattern is wide enough. You don't want it shooting a straight line or spitting. If you see that, adjust your fan and fluid knob a bit until it feels balanced. And remember, lighting is your best friend here. Always move in a way that lets you see how the paint's landing on the surface. You'll catch dry spots, overlaps, and thickness right away. Once this coat flashes off, we'll go in for our second pass. That's where the color really starts to pop and the finish starts to level out. So yeah, first pass, light, even, and clean. Patience over pressure. That's the secret to a smooth, professional finish every single time. All right, so the first coat is down, and now we let it flash off. This is where patience really pays off. You don't rush it. The paint needs a few minutes to breathe, to let those solvents evaporate. If you go too soon with the next coat, you'll trap moisture and end up with a finish that looks like a bad pancake. You want it to feel just tacky, not wet. That's when you know it's ready for coat number 2. Remember, the flashing off is like letting the paint take a deep breath before the next round. All right, now we're on the second coat, and this is where the magic really starts to happen. The first coat was just the foundation, and this one is where we build that solid, even color. Think of it like icing a cake. The first layer gives structure, but the second layer is where it starts to look delicious. I'm keeping the same smooth motion as before, overlapping each pass by about 50%. This helps avoid streaks and ensures an even finish. Don't be tempted to go too fast. Rushing is how you get runs, sags, or uneven spots. Light, controlled, and consistent is the name of the game. Now you'll notice the color starts popping more here, but don't freak out if it's not fully perfect yet. The goal of this coat is to build coverage gradually while letting the paint flow out smoothly. The air pressure is key. Too high and it'll dry too fast. Too low and it goes on too wet. Adjust as you go and pay attention to how the paint lays down. Also, keep an eye on your lighting. Moving in a way that highlights how the paint is landing makes a huge difference. You'll see dry spots, overlaps, and thickness instantly and can adjust your technique mid-pass. Finally, remember to breathe and enjoy the process. Painting a car isn't just about the end result. It's about learning the flow, feeling the paint move, and gradually seeing that surface transform. The second coat sets you up perfectly for the third and final passes, and trust me, once it's done, that color will start to look seriously pro. All right, the second coat is down, and now it's time for another flash off. This step is crucial. The paint needs a few minutes to let the solvents evaporate and the layers settle. If you rush into the next coat, you risk trapping moisture or creating runs, and nobody wants that. At this stage, the surface should feel slightly tacky to the touch, not wet or sticky. That's your cue that it's ready for the next pass. Think of it like giving your paint a little nap. It's recharging for the final layer. Also, keep an eye on your environment. Dust, wind, or too much heat can affect the finish while it's flashing off, so patience is key. Step back, take a look at how the second coat laid down, and notice how the surface is starting to even out and shine. Remember, flashing off isn't just waiting. It's part of the process that ensures a smooth, professional-looking finish in the end. The paint's taking a breath, so your next coat will glide on perfectly. All right, here we are. The final pass of paint. This is where everything comes together. The first and second coats laid the foundation, and now we're just building that smooth, even, pro-level finish. Remember, take your time, move steadily, overlap each pass about 50%, and let the paint flow naturally. You want it to level out nicely, without any runs or streaks. Now, before anyone asks, no, we're not spraying clear coat in this video. This one is all about getting that perfect base color. If you want to learn how to spray the best clear coat and make your paint shine like glass, head over to my page and check out that video. It's packed with all the tips and tricks you need. As we do this final pass, pay attention to your technique. Smooth motion, consistent distance, and the right fan pattern make all the difference. This is the step that really shows off the time and care you've put into the earlier coats. And trust me, when you see that surface start to reflect light evenly, it's super satisfying. Also, if you're enjoying this content and learning something new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps me make more detailed tutorials like this. So yeah, final pass. Steady, controlled, and fun. We're almost at the finish line, and your paint is about to look seriously professional. And remember, the clear coat is coming next, so make sure to check out that video for the full pro finish.